I thought it'd be good. Don't be polite. I thought it'd be good if we just to get to know you a bit, mate. If we sort of do a bit of a light-hearted. Is it working?
I don't know. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Mike. Just a bit of light-hearted Q&A, if that's okay, just so people can get to know you.
Thank you. No, bless you.
Stop it. Okay, right. So, tell me when you became a Christian and why, perhaps? That'd be a good start.
Well, I became a Christian when I was 18. I thought I became a Christian a few years earlier, but it didn't sort of stick. And what happened was that we had a bit of turmoil at home. My father left and threw everything into sort of turmoil. I don't know if you were there. You were probably sleeping through all that. But it was quite traumatic for the rest of us. But
I knew it would go like this.
Yeah. Oh, you know, like the mood. And my mother said, she said this, you know, my mother is 5 foot nothing, ball of power, and she said, I want someone to, it would be nice if someone went with me to church, because I wasn't going to church at that time. I'd stopped going. It would be nice if someone goes with me to church. And she said it in the way that mothers say that it's not actually, you know, it's not flown out there, it is an order. Do you know that you are? So I said, I'll go. And I was just blown away at the love, the support that the church gave her, and it made me reconsider everything. I went away to university. I was a bit lonely at university the first 6 months. But I read the Gospels, and the bloke who leapt out of me from the Gospels, the Jesus who leapt out of me, was not what I expected. I'd grown up with this image of Jesus as a guy who sort of wandered around Galilee in his 90 with a lamb over his shoulders for some unaccountable reason. I don't know what that was doing there. And, you know, he was kind of long, lovely, long hair, and he looked like he and the disciples spent all their time discussing hair conditioner. You know, and so, but the Jesus who came out was passionate and righteously angry and utterly concerned with the poor and the outcast and desperate to extend the invitation of love to all those around him. And so I decided that was someone I could follow. And 1 minute past midnight, January the 1st, 1980, I gave my... I know, you're doing the maths. I know I am that old, and I don't look it, I agree. But 1 minute past midnight, January the 1st, 1980, I gave my life to Jesus.
Amen.
And I've been doing it roughly twice a day ever since. Yeah, just to make sure.
Yeah, okay. And then, a little while later, we in our church, we started an amateur theatre company. And so that really turned into something a lot more. So let everyone know about Ambush.
Oh right, yeah. Well, yeah. We started this company, we're a drama company, and then I used to do all the writing for it. And yeah, it went professional. And yeah, we felt God calling us to go professional, so we did that full time for 3 years, and then. We got rid of the dead wood before that, out of the group. You weren't in that group, were you?
Well, you know where that was going.
We did it before then, but not after. Yeah, we used to tour the country, do missions and all that kind of stuff, a lot of schools work. And then after that I went to work up in London for a charity called Oasis, and I was head of communications there for a long time, 6 years. And then I became a freelance writer after that, and I've been a freelance writer since '96. And I'm almost up to using verbs now. I might branch out into that. And now a lot of my time at the moment is spent working. Part of my time is spent writing for an organisation called Open Doors, which campaigns on behalf of the persecuted church around the world. And something deep concern to my heart. It's always a thrill when, as a sort of creative person, you can actually use your gifts to talk about really important stuff that matters, and so that's something I do quite a lot. But the rest of the time I write books.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's great, Matt. And just here this weekend, we invited you some time ago. We had to bribe all the other guys.
I understand.
I hope you realise it.
It's cost you this.
It has, it's been nice. But I know we gave you the sort of challenge of the relevant church, but I'd like just for you to outline, just give everyone a flavour of what it is you're going to tackle.
Well, I mean, I've prayed for literally minutes about this day. No, I've been praying quite a lot. So, yeah, what I want to talk about, well, the thing is, I used to spend a lot of time in meetings where people said, people were going, how do we make church more relevant? They used to talk about all the time about how do we make church more relevant. And what they really meant was, how do we get people to sit down and listen to what we have to say? You know, how do we get people through the doors and we sit them down and then we can just lob stuff at them the whole time, you know, and you know, so the church itself has been through all these different types of church. You know, we've been through seeker services and all this kind of stuff, and fresh expressions and emerging church. I don't know where they're emerging from or where they're going to, but they seem to be emerging all over the place, and all these kinds of things. But actually, I think if you start aiming to be relevant, if you start off with that aim, actually that's an outcome. That's not a goal. That's what I firmly believe. It's like. You know, I sometimes sit in meetings now and people say to me, they say, I write videos and produce videos as well, and they say to me, what we want is we want a viral video. As if somehow I can just do that. Do you know, oh right, okay, I'll do that for you. You cannot, that's an outcome. What you do is you say, I'm going to make the best video I can make. So actually I am going to talk about how we are relevant as a church. And to do that I'm going to explore a lot of the history of the church. That's what I do. I write first century history a lot of it. But also I'm going to talk about what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, what it means to be a follower of Jesus. Because if being a disciple of Jesus means living in abundant life and having a goal of eternal salvation, I can't think of anything that is more relevant than that. So we're going to start really a step back with what it means for us to be a Christian, how the early church expressed it, how we find it in the Gospels, and then we're going to see how that is relevant to the world today. That's my great niece. That makes me a great uncle. And I have strict instructions that I'm not a great uncle, I'm a fantastic uncle. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, that's right.
Upstage.
All the sessions here will be recorded and videoed, so you won't miss out if you are serving us as a body of people by looking after the children or the youth work or the crèche or whatever it might be. So everything will be recorded and taped, which is great. Some other little things just to bring to your attention, I think where the various rooms are. We've got a prayer room that's up on the first floor near towards where I have got my room. So anyone praying, please do it quietly. The relevant outreach room, which is just roughly that direction. I still haven't got my bearings actually. I've walked to my bedroom 4 different ways so far. I don't know quite how it works here, but that's got a series of just some lot of information about various ministries that are run around the network of churches here. It's well worth going and have a look at. Next to that is the Creative Arts room, which is just provided you to go in there anytime you want, just to do some creative work. You fancy just doing something. There's loads of materials in there. That's why Peter wrote, isn't it? Yeah, so loads of stuff in there for you to do. Just feel free to use that room in whatever way you want to, apart from decorating the walls, which I don't think they'd be too happy about. The crèche is just next door there. Okay, so in the mulberry room. Steve works in... Where's your room, Steve? Where's it? Oh, okay, Barclay room. That out towards going back towards reception, I think. Youth are in the Willow Hall on the ground floor. Is that further on? Is it? I haven't found that yet. Yeah, that's reception. That's reception. Right at reception. Oh, see that? Yeah. Okay, that's good. And the lounge and games room is on the first floor if you want to just relax a bit. Obviously, hopefully, you've all got the timetable now. We're finishing here in about 10 minutes' time. Then 9:30 is the youth be meeting for a little bit of a huddle, whatever that means, in the Willow Hall, and the leaders are having a similar thing. So we're huddling and you're huddling. Okay? We're huddling 15 minutes later. I don't know quite what that is, but anyway, we are. Saturday, 7:30, Bob is leading prayer meeting in the cherry room. Well done. And then it's breakfast 8:30 and 9:15. Then we're off into our sessions. So we'll see how that all goes. Okay? Oh. We're going to sing one song. I think I picked this song because I knew what Nick was going to focus on, and I wanted us to end, having had all these announcements, all this stuff, end where we want our focus to be, and that's on the Lord Jesus Christ. this weekend, okay? So we're going to sing just one more song, and then I think... Yeah, I know you'd like to play with the drums, darling, but you can't. Okay. Okay, let's have the band back up, and then we're going to sing our last song here.